피디 시간은 그럼 이제 주시한 거 물어봐도 돼요? 참았어요. 되게 주시한 거 물어보고 싶은데 참고 있거든요. 동인 해제. 오케이.
I'm gonna tell you something that's an industry exclusive. Nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody knows shit. Nobody knows shit.
Fake it till you make it.
Really? Is this A&R's fault?
No.
Or promotion? But like,
No.
I'm fearless. Ha. So there are a few songs out there famous for their behind stories, like FX 여우같은 내 친구 was originally a demo for Ariana Grande. I's Love Die was originally a song for Sunmi. EXO's Kokopop was recorded first by Red Velvet. Like, how often do you see this kind of cases? Is this common? Like,
Yeah. You know, I think most producers and songwriters have a hard drive with thousands of demo songs that never got put out. And a lot of them will never get put out, but some of them just happen to be perfect for this person, even though it was not originally intended for them, right? And so a lot of the songs that you make, it's like they're your babies. Some people are like easy to like forget about them and whatever, but some of them are like, really good, and you want them to, you know. Yeah. So
speaking of they're your baby, I know that in this industry sometimes a lot of idols like they come up with like press or like they have this 기자 play saying that this artist from blah 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 band wrote this song, but actually behind it's actually written by another person or they co-written it together. The artist just participate in a little part and gets all the credit. What do you think about this? I see a smile on your face, John.
I don't want to talk about it yet. Sophia first, or Julia
Because I'm sure,
first.
Sophie, you have been working a lot. You know about this, right?
You know, artists, as I said, they have so many other things to do. Like, they can't pour their whole lives into songwriting. So I think it's only natural that they cannot contribute.
But isn't it
A
unfair
huge,
for
huge
a
amount.
writer or the composers? Like when the company decide to write something like, is this A&R's fault?
No.
Or promotion? But like, 갑자기, let's say, You Kiss Alexander came out with this song called Mama. 네, 제가 썼어요. But actually, the real person is Sophia wrote it together with me. I just changed a little part. I'm saying, I wrote it. Yeah, this
Usually
song
they'll
is
say
about
like 참여했어요 or something like that. They change their wording. You can't really lie
But
about
on
it.
the other hand, like, if the artist is involved, there's a higher chance that song will get sold.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's sort
it's
of
a give and take kind
yeah.
of situation.
재밌다. What was the most ridiculous note you ever got from a company? Like, can you change this or that or anything? Because I know you get really frustrated, right?
I think just when, because John was saying, some of these songs are your babies. And to me, like, this song is perfect as it is. And I feel like it suits the artist so well. And yet they're like, can we try changing this? And then they're like, can we hear like two more different options? And then eventually they just go back to the original melody.
That always happens. They always go back to the original.
Where they say,
Yeah.
oh no, I don't think the song is for us
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah. Or they just drop it completely.
If they drop it completely, what happened? You don't...
You get nothing.
Oh man, so you have to be picked and released, then you get something.
Yeah, even if you hear that your song is being cut, just don't rely on, don't go buying things in advance until release date because you just never know what's going to happen.
Until you get paid.
Even that.
Yeah.
Oh wow. What was the fastest in A&R, like an idol ever produced from demo, bam, 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 release?
I think it has to at least take 6 months.
At least 6 months for
Yeah.
idols?
Yeah, because they have so many other things that go into it, like music video. Like if it's like a indie artist or something, I'm sure you could do it in like a day.
Yeah.
But
Right.
with idols, like, and you need clearance, you need contract, everything. Yeah, contracts go to the 법무 team. Like it's a whole
Right.
thing. So I think at least 6 months. Yeah.
You kiss one man 했는데.
Oh wow.
That's why we failed. Who's the fearless? I remember when I left UKIS, I suck at singing. I had 4 sessions to record 1 track. 진짜, it was so horrible. I know, you know how bad. 16 hours, but most of the time I was just sitting there eating and crying. Like, I I was like pampered by my A&R team back then. Yeah. Do you go with your artists to a studio and record with them?
Yeah.
And were there times where idols actually like 녹음하다가 I can't do it anymore and cry break down?
Yeah, sometimes.
Then how do you take care of them?
바로 해처리. No, I'm just kidding.
I think honestly, it's almost kind of the vocal director's biggest job. Like it's mainly their job because they're directing their singing, so they'll find a way to make it come out. Really.
How? 다시.
I think more of it.
야 다시.
It's
야
like-
똑바로 하네.
It's like totally the opposite. You need to be like, you're doing so great.
Yes.
Like they could be totally off tune. You're getting there. Like you're so close.
Oh, I think I heard that before. I suck at singing, so I think I heard that a lot. 네, 너무 잘했어요. 한 번만 더.
예, 맞아.
한 번만 더. 지금 되게 좋은데 한 번 더 하면
네.
좋을 것 같아. 나올 것 같아요. Wow. And I did spoil like 100 times.
Yeah.
There's this
exactly.
thing that I always do when I'm recording. I never say 한 번 더, because it's never 한 번 더. I always say 두 번 더. 두 번 더. After 4 times, 두 번만 더 할게요.
I'm always like, 진짜 마지막이에요. 이번에
So
진짜
all
마지막.
have a different style.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I think JJ's right in that the carrot is way more effective than
Yeah,
the stick.
you gotta
Nice.
be
Especially these
really
days.
encouraging.
Yeah.
Or else if you degrade them, they're gonna start crying. Like,
근데 that's so 옛날 style. 진짜
Yeah.
옛날에 it was like that. They really 혼나. Some people, some producers, 야, 너 연습 안 했어? 쉬, 다시 가서 연습하고 다시 와. And like they really cry and blah blah. Blah. This was
I
like
think the producer can do that. Like if the person who wrote the song is also directing it, they can be more harsh. But sometimes the vocal director did not write the song at all. Like they have no association to the song. They're just there to guide them vocally. So
Really?
so they can't give notes like that.
Oh, then what if the producers, the original like composer comes in and say, 야, 너무 달라졌는데 느낌 별로인데?
Sometimes they say that. Like I think like the bigger name producers can say things like that.
그럼 어떡해? 다시 recording it? from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
beginning?
Like a lot of idols, like I've seen the most, they've re-recorded a song like 7-8 times, like the same 2 lines.
Sophia,
Yes. Oh no.
I'm just curious. When you're guiding, vocal guiding and directing, like, what was your hardest time when you guide somebody? What was the most frustrating thing? Pitch unperfect? Because tuning 되잖아.
No, pitch is. I don't
You could just
even really
adjust
think
it.
about pitch that
Oh,
much.
really?
It's more about the feel.
감정.
감정.
Is that
you know,
true? I heard that people like saying that because tune and pitch, you could tune it. Pitch, you could tune it. But feelings, you can't tune it.
You
So-
can't really create something out of nothing.
Right.
So that bass feeling has to be there. That's the hardest part, getting the right feel.
The right feel here.
Yeah, and then just more going into more detail, like the pronunciation. There's a lot
Right.
more English in songs these
Oh my
days.
god, but the thing about pronunciation, TMI, I had this song called Kimchi Song before. So it was in Korean. And it's a very simple song, like 새우 젓갈 쓱싹쓱싹, very simple. 근데 발음 때문에 새우 젓갈, I say 새우 족갈. 굴 족갈. Like 새우 족갈, 굴 족갈. I was like, why is there no feedback? And when they pressed the talkback button, they were like, like 선도야 발음 때문에. So after that, I couldn't. So
I mean, it's tough because, you know, there are a lot of Japanese members and even Korean members. A lot of Korean members are really great at English these days, but some of them are just not. And it's a muscle memory thing. Their tongues just don't
어떡해?
move that way. 그러면 완전, you gotta just break it down like syllable by syllable.
who's the fearless? 칭찬타임. Which member you work with in Twice? Like, wow, 되게 just tell it, do this is very easy. Like, very wow.
Again, it depends on the day,
And
but
which songs also, right?
yeah, and the song. But I think most impressed by Nina and Chio.
Oh, why?
Just because, you know, we have a certain expectation of Mina's voice being really soft and pretty. But if you give her the right guidance, she can also come out with some really like hard and
Very
like
versatile. she
very urban sounds. And Chio, you know, she's a power vocal. But these days we're trying to do some softer stuff, which she might not be naturally comfortable with. But you direct her and she'll just give it a go.
Oh,
She'll come up with some really
대박.
nice stuff, yeah.
So, do you also work with like guys?
Not as much, but I have worked a lot with Boy Next Door these days, who are so talented, by the way. Love working
Boys
with them.
Next Door. What was your worst experience? Like, how many sessions did it take? Like, what makes it a bad recording session?
I'm gonna tell you something that's an industry exclusive. Nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody knows shit. Nobody knows shit.
Fake it till you make it.
Really?
There are a lot of people that don't know anything. They're like, yeah, can we fix the damping on this? They're just like, do you know what damping is? They're like, no. And so there's this button on my monitor controller. It's called the PPL button. It does nothing. But it turns blue. You turn it on and it's like, how does that feel? And then the nightmare scenarios, the producer is in charge and like control, right? But that guy, he's like in charge. He has no idea what he's talking about. And so he's so focused on the 감정 that the song's is beyond repair, but he's like, yeah, 감정 너무 좋아. 너무 좋아. And they take it off and they say, okay, now take it a mix. And they come back, 녹음 다시 해야 될 것 같아요. And then at that point, I tell them, can I give you some input? And then it goes a lot faster.
But isn't it good for you because the longer time they spend, the more money they have to pay you?
Bro, recording is the bane of my existence. I hate recording.
I always feel so bad for the engineers.
Dude, recording is... See, the thing about recording is you have to be present 100% of the time throughout the entire session. So if it's 8 hours, then let's say you get paid X for 8 hours, right? But you have to be present for 8 whole hours. Sometimes you can't even go to the bathroom because they're in the middle of like whatever, right?
Oh, man.
But then if I were to get a mix, I would get paid X amount and I could probably finish it in maybe 2 hours. And in the middle, I'll go use the bathroom if I want to. I'll play some games on my phone as I go. But then with recording, it's like 진짜 노가다야. It's 노가다. You know, 여기 있는 분들도 다 지금 노가다 하고 계시고. It's that kind of 다 힘드실 거예요. 수고 많으십니다. 저도 알고 있습니다. 네. 특히 카메라 감독님들. 네. 배터리 지금 안 나갔나? 지금 녹음이 멈추지 않았나?
For the 2 hours.
It's really 노가다 sometimes. And
Everybody thinks the inside industry of WTF. You're watching only maybe 10 or 15 minutes of our show, but our recording is like 15 hours. Just kidding. Just 2 hours, but that's so true. Who's the fearless? Before we wrap up, a quick round of fearless rapid fire game. So one rule, answer fast, no thinking, no dodging, just answering. And of course, you have one chance to pass it to me. If you say pass, then I have to answer it. So we're going to start from Sophia to John to JJ and 이렇게 하겠습니다. Ready, set. A moment in the studio you'll never forget.
When Chewie cried.
Should we cry? Okay.
Yeah.
One song you wish you made.
Dynamite.
Dynamite. A music trend you wish would go away.
Sped up version.
Sped up version. The weirdest request you've ever gotten while working.
Pass.
Pass. Weirdest I had to eat in between the recording session. Okay. A moment you felt completely burned out while recording.
Oh, this is gonna be deep. I got depression.
Depression before. Oh man. Okay, back to the questions here. I'm so curious about a few things here. The moment in the studio you never forget is Chewie crying.
Yes.
Like, oh man. Was it like her frustration?
Yeah.
Oh man. So how do
Because
you
she
comfort
knew
her?
she could do it. It just wasn't coming out that day. Because, you know, like when you know you can do better, especially, I think is when artists get the most frustrated.
Oh, how do you usually comfort them?
I just give them a moment. Like,
I see.
Turn off
it's
the
not even
mics.
help. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, turn off the mic. Just give them a moment. Be like, just let me know when you're ready to restart.
That happens to you too, also, it seems like,
Yeah,
right?
like if they're having a moment, we'll be like, we'll turn off the mics, like do whatever you want to, practice your notes, scream if you need to, and we'll turn it back on when you're ready.
Oh, so nice. For me, my manager was like, 그래, 치킨 좀 시켜 먹자. I'll eat that and 다 먹고, hi, I'm back, I'm fine, okay. Aspiring people who wants to work in the field, 좀 한마디 부탁드릴게요. Like we start with JJ. People who are young, who start young, what do you think is the advice for you?
Oh my gosh. I think if you want to work in music business like A&R, you need to have good people relationships. You need to, so don't ever burn bridges. Be polite to everyone.
Connections,
Yeah,
networking.
connections. Yeah, be humble.
For me, it's have thick skin. And don't set your expectations too high, but be grateful for the things that you do get.
What about you, John? As an engineer producer, any advice for any future?
Never mess with your engineer. they have your naked vocals.
That is
They
true.
have your butt naked. No, but that's not my advice though. My advice would be this is a big one. It's kind of in line with Sophia, but don't compare. Don't compare yourself with other people. Trust your own path. You know, I think that's very important,
너무
especially in
좋다.
music.
I think I learned a lot from three of you guys today. My final advice is this is the last episode for this season. We talk about K-pop, different dynamic. If you could choose, don't work in the showbiz. 너무 힘들어. Who's the fearless? So it's very easy. Normally we do like challenges, but of course we'll be nicer today. You could choose, I'll let you choose. 영상 편집, okay? A video message to either the worst artist you worked with or somebody you really want to work with.
I want to do someone that I hate.
Yeah, do it! All right,
But
are you ready?
Julia just said don't burn bridges, right?
You don't have burn bridge, you
No,
just
but
have
the
to air
message
it
can be
out.
positive. You can be like, we can always try again.
Oh, you're
You're
right,
welcome.
Okay, are you ready?
No, we cannot try again.
Ready, set, go!
You suck. You make my life terrible, and you suck. Stop doing music.
Oh my god! Question, is this a guy or a girl?
I'm not telling you.
They, them.
They, them.
They, them.
끝나면 진짜
We'll never
알려줘.
know.
Anyway, so thank you so much for joining once again, and for all of our viewers here, thank you so much for joining us. Who's Their Fearless Season 2. Hope to see you maybe Season 3. I don't know what will happen. We really don't know whether it's going to happen. Now, you know, this is an industry. We don't know how this is going to happen. So just in case I don't see you again, everybody, bye-bye. And thank you so much. Bye, everyone.